welcome to the Charles County Journal. I'm Errol Jacques here on Waldorf, and it's the kickoff of summer. Summer is a time I believe that people want to get out
Yeah.
and have fun. But I'm excited to have you guys here today because it seems like you guys are kicking off summer with a bang.
Yes.
First, I want the crowd to understand who is in front of me here. I want you all to introduce yourself individually and your role, and then the name of your organization. I'm gonna start off with you.
Well, first, thank you for having us.
I appreciate it.
We are very, very excited to be here and excited about what we're starting in the county.
Yeah.
So I'm Joan Waters. I'm one of the founding board members of Jazz in the Country, the vice president, and the event planner.
Awesome.
Busy.
Sounds busy.
Wear a couple hats.
A lot of hats.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I'm going to come back to you with a lot of those questions.
All
as far as
right.
what you do. And over here.
My pleasure to be here. Glad to
Awesome.
be here with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
My name is Randy Pryor, and I am one of the board members of Jazz in the Country, and we are looking forward to having jazz here in this Charles County area and bringing that excitement and bringing that love
Awesome.
is what we like to do. We like to bring that love of jazz to everyone.
Absolutely. And I'm understanding new member of the team. Please introduce
Yes,
yourself.
I'm Adrienne Mathis. I'm the new member of the team. I'm just excited to be here all around.
my
In
gosh.
addition to being excited about being in Charles County, and this is major, it's huge, and I can't wait to get started and have my first experience with the Jazz and Wine Fest. So.
This is amazing. This is the experience I'm feeling already by just meeting you. Your spirit, your laughter, your joy, and I'm hoping everybody can experience the same thing I'm experiencing. Tell me more about you, Joanne. The Joanne that is sitting right here, and how you got involved with this concept.
How much time do I have? So actually, I've been a jazz lover for years. I have volunteered at another local jazz festival down in St. Mary's for years because that's really my hometown. I live in St. Mary's.
Okay.
And I just knew one day I wanted to do a jazz festival. And I believe divine intervention. I was given the name probably 10 or so years ago, never really knowing if it would come to fruition, right? And so fast forward in 2018, I was asked if I wanted to put together a jazz festival. I was out of the country on vacation.
Okay. Somebody
My
disturb me.
brother texted me, and I'm like, what does he want? And I'm like, I do. I do. And that sort of started it, and we formally met in January of 2019. We're based really in King George, and the initial vision was to support a local Black-owned retreat center that no one's ever heard of, Mount Bethel Retreat Center. Wow. I hadn't even heard of it. And so when I got home and went there, it's 75 acres of waterfront property, privately owned by an association of Baptist churches, really. And when it's a long drive back, little country road, and then it opens up, and it's just surrounded by the Potomac River. I'm like, what a perfect spot! What a perfect spot. So that sort of started. We got a team together. Randy was one of the original board members as well, and we like, let's do it. Let's do it. And so we've been operating in King George for 5 years. And it has allowed us to help do some small projects around that retreat center. So that was really the initial mission was to bring more people to the retreat center. And actually over 5 years, their patronage has increased over 60% since we've been doing.
Now, speaking of that, how was the local support from the, let's just say, the business organization there, from vendors? How was that onboarding process then?
So, of course, the first year is a little difficult because you're new and you don't know anybody and nobody knows you. And we were introduced to local tourism by accident. That's another story. By accident. They heard of us, and Randy has been very integral in putting out banners all around King George, as far as Fredericksburg, even down to
Richmond.
Richmond and beyond.
You was the county didn't find you by any chance, did they, for putting up those? Those. Okay.
They never caught up with me.
They were aware, but they left us alone.
They knew it was all in love.
Awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a lovely one.
Yeah, so we began a relationship with King George Tourism Department, part of the county government. And they supported us a little bit the first year and a little bit more the second year and a little
Yes.
bit more the third year. So they have been huge supporters, and that would cover our marketing in line with their tourism strategy. So we've had a really good relationship with them and getting to be known, local businesses right there in King George and beyond. So that's what
So-
keeps us pumped up.
So you met up with Joanne during this time. So how'd you get involved? It sounded like you was doing some marketing and other stuff. So
Well, I had a phone call one afternoon from Reverend Robinson asking me would I join them in putting together a jazz festival in King George. And from that, I was introduced to Joan, but I was introduced to her brother Donnie, who has passed, was, fantastic gentleman and sorely missed it. He had such great knowledge and such love for God, but he had such love for jazz as well. And from that point, we came together and we made it happen. And you get in where you fit in, and that's what I do. Whatever needs to be done, if I can do it, I'll do it. But the bottom line is getting it done and making sure that the public is always happy, which is hard to do sometimes, but that's what our mission is, to bring that love of jazz to Charles County, just like we have in King George, and just see the people vibrant, come out and enjoy the festivities of that day and the beauty that the musicians continue to create that makes life so much more pleasurable in all times.
all times. All times. So are you a player? Are you playing the instruments? Because you have that passion. Like it sounds like you play.
I dibble and dabble, but I like. I
Don't
love
ask him to
music.
sing, please.
I can.
This is so interesting. So interesting. So it's leading up to bringing that experience here
Yes.
in Charles County. And then how did you play along? At what point did you come in?
So I came in most recently. I actually met Joan. I volunteered for a local jazz fest as well, and then host and ambassador at that time. And she was there supporting as Jazz in the Country. And I was going around my little flyers and meeting people, and I met Joan, and we just hit it off immediately. I think the following year we saw each other again. We still
She
hit it
kept
off.
popping up.
Yeah.
What did you see in her? Are you involved with jazz?
Well, I was involved in that particular volunteer organization, and then just connected. I think we may be on some type of family tree as we as we talked a little more. But really, I think it was just the connection with jazz. I'm a singer, not a professional singer, but I love music. I'm an educator.
Wow.
So we just had a lot to connect and talk about how we would how she was connecting with King George and the community itself, but just I love music. I think that, as Randy just said, it's just a way to bring people together, and I'm really excited about that. And we need that. We need more ways to bring us together and just have a good time. And so that's how we connected. It's just in the heart. And
Exactly.
yeah.
That's awesome. This is so beautiful. And so, just getting into the questions here. So, it looks like now that we have this existing experience that a lot of King George's has been taken advantage of, I'm assuming.
Yes.
What inspired you guys to bring it here into this county? Like, this is the first and foremost for Charles County itself. So, what inspired?
Yes. It's funny. We have big vision. And from day one, we talked about all the different opportunities that we said would be possible as we continue to grow. And so last summer, I was here at another music festival, and one of the commissioners was there. And he happened to come over. He saw our tent come over, and I'm giving him the spiel about who we are and what we've done. And he's like, well, you got to bring this to Charles County. I'm like, we'd love to bring it to Charles County. And we had no plans of doing that in the immediate future. We're just sort of going with the flow. Going with the flow. And so he pulled his phone out. We exchanged numbers. He's like, talk to tourism. And so that started the ball rolling. And so the county has been super, super supportive since that day.
Yes.
And of course, that feeds our excitement because we want to go where we know that we are received with open arms and that we can serve this community. So this year, so talk with tourism and all that, and had some really interesting conversations about how we could partner. And they said, well, now this is in October of last year. Do you want to wait to 2026 and maybe we'll have time to really see what level of support the county could give us?
Yes.
And I'm like, no, let's do something now.
No.
Right now.
I believe it. The door opens, you run through.
Yeah.
And so we said, well, we will do it on a smaller scale. And King George is an all-day festival. We have 5 performing groups. So we said, well, let's just do 3. Let's just do a short version, and that will give us the opportunity to get to know the county and to introduce ourselves to the county.
So how did you choose the lineup? I mean, it seems like you knocked it down just so we can get it rolling. So who gets to choose the lineup here? You did. So
I choose the lineup every year, and then I take it to the board for approval.
Right.
I take it to the board and say, this is who we're having, right?
No.
This is good. So I'm assuming they say yes, no, because this is Charles County. I'm assuming we get the test. Like,
So Charles County, well, one of our goals is to highlight and spotlight local talent.
Yes.
We know that the top tier artists, everyone loves, I love, we've heard them and followed them for years, but there's so much talent right in Charles County, right in the DMV, that we want to give that opportunity for them to share their talents. And, everybody can't be president, all that kind of stuff. So everyone has a role to play. And so we think it important to do that. And my first thing was I wanted to connect with the college because I know they have a jazz department. And so only because they are out of school in June, the head of that department, Randy Runyon, he's like, well, I have a group. Maybe we can play. I said, I would love it. I think I may have met him some other time once before, but didn't really know him. So I'm like, cool, well, let's do it. So we worked all that out. Of course, we contract all of them and we agree on what their performance fee and all of that. We have a Latin jazz band out of DC who performed in King George a couple of years ago, and everyone loved them. Everyone loved them. So I'm like, okay, they're affordable. That plays a big part. They're affordable because we're starting from scratch, right? And then Gino Marriott and the Spirit of Jazz, actually, Randy is very, very familiar with them. And like, well, let's do it. And they were ready. They're ready to come.
They were excited to do it.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes.
So based on that, can you walk us, can you give the fans like an expectation, like walk us through the experience that you've designed for Charles County? I don't want to spoil
It's
the
good.
show.
Well, it's the same thing we do in King George. And like they were talking about, it's really about the people. So I stay excited. I get to interact with the performers. I get to interact with media. I get to interact with every level from the volunteers. And we have volunteers that come out of the woodwork every year. And we have 20-some who are volunteering for Charles. Some have volunteered in King George, and others are new to us. And like, well, how did you find out? I saw a sign.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard about you. A friend told me, that sort of thing. And so, how cool is that to form relationships and to bring them into our jazz family, whether they're volunteer, whether they're vendor, whether they're
Yes.
performer. And it's just a way of spreading love.
So anybody specific? I know there's a lot of organization here, chamber and stuff. So is there anybody that played a major role in helping you kick it off? Was there any roadblocks for you?
We have had such a huge outpouring of support.
Yeah, a lot of-
So the county commissioners are funding it in part. The chamber we joined a couple months ago, and they are on
Fantastic.
fire.
Really is. Yes.
I mean,
Yes,
we're
they
like,
are.
can you believe this?
I love that,
This
yes.
really outdoes King George.
Oh,
We're like,
yes.
okay, this
Wow.
is it. This is probably one of the best decisions we have
And the
made.
greatest thing about it is it's just getting started. This is
Yes.
just a small, so I think that's the thing that I am trying to wrap around is that all of this communication, all of this love and just enthusiasm.
Yes.
And that's the start of it. Like,
Right.
Can you imagine?
So based on that excitement, like how is this going to support? Like how do you see this supporting local initiatives like here? Because it seems like there is a past performance, like because there's a lot of groups here that probably wish they could have gotten involved. How do you see it?
I would say the key is getting connected into the system and the community. So we just mentioned the chamber.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you're connected into the chamber, you're connected into the local businesses because that's what the chamber is. And if you're getting the feedback, or not feedback, but from the county commissioners that support, because it starts up top.
Yeah.
We always talk about that phrase. It starts up top.
Yes.
I mean, it's all levels. So that piece of it right there connects you into. What about the schools and the children and the youth? What about other nonprofit organizations? What about the other educational organizations or institutions? And that's what makes it work because it's almost like it's an investment.
Yeah.
Totally.
They are investing, we are investing in them, they're investing in us, and that's the partnership. So that's what
Right.
makes it key. That's a key piece.
That's amazing. So, Randy.
Yes.
So, what opportunities are there? Is there still a chance for vendors and wineries to still be a part of this experience, or what?
At this moment, all of those areas are fulfilled. It's going to be next year, but we still want them to be a part of this because their presence, even if they're not able to vend that day, we still want them to come and see just how much more that this festival in Charles County is going to be.
Yeah.
So, but we need that love from them as well, and it's the overwhelming support. Noticing how the commission is so involved in the community of wanting to bring jazz to the community. It's just wonderful. It's just phenomenal. It's just it's sometimes it's almost unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, on that note, like, what measures have been put in place in terms of like making sure there's the atmosphere for families? Because it's summer, kids,
Yes.
people that are going to be traveling into this area. So,
Before I answer that, I don't want to forget the support we've also gotten from the town of Indian Head, where it's going to be held.
Absolutely.
They
Yes.
are excited
Yes.
about us coming.
yes,
And the
Yes.
town of La
Plata.
Plata.
Later,
Yes.
awesome.
They, I'm telling you, again, like we're just blown away by the excitement of local government, local townships, and all of that. And so we just see a bright
Just such a
future.
love for the community that
Yeah.
that it's important that they are so concerned about having the community involved in what they're doing. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. That's quite a treasure to have.
That's awesome.
So
And you can learn a lot when you see things up close in that way, and from that perspective. When you feel it, you come in and
Yes.
you feel it. But sometimes that's not always the thing. You don't feel it, but here you feel it from every aspect. So.
So, looking ahead, right? So, how do you guys envision this festival involving, well, this being the first time in Charles County, how do you see it evolving in this area? Just looking ahead.
We're gonna get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger and bigger.
We
That's-
have
that's
had so many conversations with other businesses, local businesses, who are like, hey, we really like that you're bringing some joy to the county. And give an opportunity just to relax for a couple hours, forget about all the craziness in the world. And although this festival, Jazz and Wine, is not a family type event, we're not encouraging children because alcohol will be there. And that's for everyone's safety. But as we go along and see how all this plays out this year, we foresee doing events throughout the year, smaller events at smaller venues. And then who knows, we're just flexible. We are not in a box. We are just open to any opportunities and ideas to serve the community, because that's what it's all about. And we also hope to, as Adrian mentioned, connect with the school system. In King George, in 2023, we started a free music workshop at the local high school, and one of the performers conducted the workshop in conjunction with the festival. So we're going to see how that's going to play out as we get to know more and more people in the county.
So lastly, so really, this is more like you guys inviting like those individuals, being that this is the first inaugural event, like
Yes.
let your fans know why they should come. Like, I mean, there may be some jazz enthusiasts out there that haven't heard about it, and there may be some who's just thinking jazz. I might try it.
You
From your
don't
perspective.
want to miss the first. You want to be there to celebrate and enjoy the beauty of jazz in the country, bringing beautiful jazz, beautiful musicians. A beautiful day is going to be granted to us that day. You don't want to miss the first. So come out and join us at Indian Head, Charles County Festival, and enjoy yourselves. So you got to come on out. So don't hesitate. Don't think twice.
Get your ticket today.
Get your tickets today and come on out and play.
So tell us about seating. Seating lawn chairs, or like how's that designed?
Yes, it's
food trucks.
a little bit of everything. The park, Indian Head Park, is 9 acres, and they are giving us full control of that park for the festival. So bring your lawn chairs. We don't want any tents and rolling wagons and all that kind of stuff. Keep it simple. We'll have food vendors there, retail and community service vendors as well. And it'll just be a great time. It'll be a great time. And we'll get to know, we'll have time to go around and meet and make friends, because we're a family. And we just want to invite the whole community to come and be a part of our jazz family.
Thank you guys
Yes.
so much. I hope you guys are being informed about this first and foremost jazz festival, Jazz in the Country, that is coming
Yes.
here in Charles County, taking place at Indian Head.
Correct.
Yes.
9 acres of grass. So, it's been a pleasure. More information can be found on the website.
Correct.
Jazz in the Country. Look on the bottom screen. You'll see the website address. Get your ticket today, because it's what? June?
June 21st.
First.
It's
around the
a
corner.
week. Yeah.
Get your tickets today, I'm assuming.
Today.
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 Now.
Thank you for joining us on Charles County Journal.
Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
having
See
us.
you guys real soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.